Elon.
This isn't just a timeline, it's the wild ride of how Trump and Musk went from awkward strangers to political power duo, then blew it all up. From Musk calling Trump not the right guy in 2016, to standing beside him at the UFC in 2024, to that bloodied fist photo after the assassination attempt, to a sudden betrayal on X with one jaw-dropping Epstein tweet. The story has everything. Billionaires, power grabs, drama, and one of the craziest bromances in modern politics. Buckle up, it's bold, it's messy, it changed history. November 2016, Musk voices skepticism of Trump's candidacy.
But I'm surging with women.
If Hillary Clinton were a man, I don't think she'd get 5% of the vote.
This is the legacy of Hillary Clinton. Death, destruction, terrorism, and weakness.
In the final days of the 2016 campaign, Elon Musk made it clear he was not a fan of Donald Trump. On November the 5th, 2016, Musk told CNBC,
A year ago, you blogged that you didn't have very strong feelings about the election, but that you hoped Trump would not get the nomination. Do you essentially feel the same way about his victory to the White House?
Well, I feel a bit stronger that probably he's not the right guy.
arguing that Trump lacked the character to represent the United States well.
He just doesn't seem. He doesn't seem to have the sort of character that reflects well on the United States.
Musk even said he preferred Hillary Clinton's economic and environmental policies. In short, Musk felt Trump's rise was not our finest hour in democracy. At that time, Musk, a self-described independent who had supported Democrats, was openly skeptical that Trump was the right fit for the White House. December 2016, first meeting and joining Trump's advisory team. Despite his earlier misgivings, Musk adopted a pragmatic approach after Trump's surprise victory. On December 14th, 2016, President-elect Trump convened a tech industry summit at Trump Tower with Apple's Tim Cook, Amazon's Jeff Bezos, Google's Larry Page, and others. Elon Musk attended this meeting, and afterward, Trump even held a private discussion with Musk and Tim Cook. In a gesture of outreach, Trump named Musk to a presidential advisory team, specifically 2 economic advisory councils, alongside other business leaders like Uber's Travis Kalanick. Musk's decision to serve a controversial new president drew some criticism, but he defended it. Musk explained that by joining Trump's councils, he could provide advice and lobby for sensible policies on issues like climate change and immigration. In early 2017, Musk openly stated that advisory councils simply provide advice, and attending does not mean that I agree with all actions of the administration. In short, Musk saw an opportunity to influence Trump from the inside, even if he had doubts about Trump personally. February 2017, Musk at the White House. In the opening weeks of Trump's term, Musk visited the White House to participate in meetings of Trump's Strategic and Policy Forum. On February 3rd, 2017, Musk was photographed with Trump and White House strategist Steve Bannon in the state dining room during a business leaders gathering. Behind the scenes, Musk attempted to steer Trump on key issues, for example, urging modifications to Trump's controversial travel ban executive order. When pressed by the public, Musk reiterated that he was raising objections on policies like the immigration ban while serving in the advisory role. This delicate balancing act showed Musk trying to maintain influence over Trump's agenda without explicitly endorsing everything Trump did. However, Musk's collaboration had its limits. Climate policy was a red line. Musk strongly supports measures to fight climate change, so when Trump decided to pull the US out of the Paris Climate Accord, Musk could not continue.
The United States will withdraw from the Paris Climate Accord.
On June 1st, 2017, just months into Trump's term, Musk resigned from Trump's advisory councils in protest. He announced his departure on Twitter, pointedly noting, "Climate change is real. Leaving Paris is not good for America or the world." This marked the first break between the two. Musk publicly broke ties over Trump's environmental policies, ending his short-lived role as a tech ambassador in Trump's circle. At this stage, the relationship between Donald Trump and Elon Musk was still in its early tentative phase, not yet the high-profile dynamic it would later become. While Musk had moved from open criticism to cautious engagement, his involvement was clearly driven by strategy rather than shared ideology. ideology. He saw value in being at the table, but his participation came with clear boundaries. Their relationship lacked depth or lasting alignment. It wasn't yet a fully fledged alliance, but rather a pragmatic arrangement, born from the reality that one was a businessman leading one of America's most influential companies, and the other was the newly elected president. They didn't see eye to eye on everything, but there was a mutual understanding that cooperation could be beneficial. The groundwork was laid, but trust had yet to be built. January 2020, Trump praises Musk as a genius. Fast forward to 2020 and the tone had changed. By early 2020, Trump had come to admire Musk's success with Tesla and SpaceX. In a January 2020 CNBC interview from Davos, President Trump heaped praise on Musk's accomplishments. Referring to Tesla's rising stock and SpaceX's rockets, Trump said, "You have to give Musk credit. He's one of our great geniuses, and we have to protect our geniuses," even likening Musk to Thomas Edison.
And I was worried about him because he's one of our great geniuses, and we have to protect our genius. We have to protect Thomas Edison. And
that comparison was no small compliment. Edison's widely considered one of the greatest inventors in American history, known especially for inventing the first practical electric light bulb in 1879, a breakthrough that quite literally lit up the modern world. For a sitting president to put Musk in the same category signaled a dramatic shift. The once skeptical Musk was now being elevated as a national treasure. It marked a powerful turning point in their relationship, from tension to admiration. The public praise, the reverence, the alignment of status, the political tech romance had begun. May 2020, alliance during the pandemic reopening. In early 2020, the COVID-19 pandemic brought the world to a standstill. Governments imposed strict lockdowns, businesses were forced to close, and tensions flared between public health concerns and economic survival. In the United States, debates over how and when to reopen the economy became highly politicized, with President Trump pushing for a quicker return to normal. A few months later, their interests aligned. In May 2020, Musk defied local lockdown orders by moving to reopen Tesla's California factory, arguing that restrictions were overly draconian. This caught President Trump's attention and sympathy. Trump publicly backed Musk's stance, tweeting on May 12, 2020, "California should let Tesla and Elon Musk open the plant now. It can be done fast and safely." Musk gratefully replied "thank you" to Trump on Twitter. Around the same time, Musk and Trump crossed paths in Florida for SpaceX's historic Crew Dragon launch carrying NASA astronauts. Trump flew to Florida to witness the May 30th, 2020 launch, a triumphant moment for Musk's company. The president applauded Musk in person after the successful mission.
I especially want to congratulate someone who truly embodies the American ethos of big thinking and risk-taking.
It was a brief bromance. Trump got to celebrate an American space milestone under his watch, and Musk received presidential kudos for his achievement. Trump even proclaimed the SpaceX launch ushered in a new era of spaceflight and praised the NASA-SpaceX partnership as an unmatched power for the nation.
SpaceX became the first private company to put humans into orbit around the Earth. Elon Musk, congratulations. Congratulations, Elon.
In 2020, Musk and Trump publicly reinforced each other's endeavours, Musk siding with Trump's push to reopen the economy, and Trump championing Musk's space and manufacturing successes. But the year would end with a dramatic political shift. In November 2020, Donald Trump lost the presidential election to Joe Biden. However, Trump refused to concede, alleging widespread voter fraud, a claim he continues to stand by.
Will totally accept the results of this great and historic presidential election if I win.
Depending on where one falls on the political spectrum, these allegations are seen either as serious concerns about election integrity or unfounded claims that undermine democratic institutions. Tensions reached a breaking point on January 6, 2021, when a crowd of Trump supporters stormed the US Capitol as Congress prepared to certify the election results. It became a defining and deeply polarizing moment in American history, one that still divides the nation and reverberates around the world. January 2021, Trump's Twitter ban and Musk's free speech stance. After Trump lost the 2020 election and following the January 6th Capitol riot, Twitter permanently banned Donald Trump's account. Elon Musk, a frequent Twitter user himself, expressed discomfort with that decision. Though he didn't mention Trump by name at the time, Musk criticized the idea of a few tech companies acting as the ultimate gatekeepers of public discourse. He remarked that many people would be unhappy with tech platforms becoming de facto arbiters of free speech. This marked a pivotal philosophical divergence from the Silicon Valley establishment. Musk's libertarian streak, particularly around digital speech and censorship, began to align more closely with conservative grievances. Although Musk had previously avoided engaging directly in Trump's controversies, his stance on censorship foreshadowed deeper political involvement in the years to come. In May 2022, Musk announces intent to reinstate Trump on Twitter. When Musk initiated his bid to buy Twitter in April 2022, speculation immediately turned to whether he would reinstate Trump's account. Musk made his position clear in May. If he completed the acquisition, he would reverse Trump's ban. Musk called the decision to remove Trump morally wrong and foolish in the extreme. This declaration put Musk squarely at odds with progressive voices and cemented his growing support from right-wing commentators. It also signaled to Trump and Trump's base that Musk was potentially a powerful ally who shared their disdain for big tech censorship. Though Trump himself claimed he would stay on Truth Social, the possibility of regaining access to his old megaphone loomed large. July 2022, Trump and Musk clash publicly. The relationship between Trump and Musk took a sharp turn in July 2022. At a rally in Alaska, Trump called Musk a bull shit artist, accusing him of dishonesty after Musk claimed he had never voted Republican before 2022. Trump told the crowd that Musk had once privately said he voted for him in 2016 and 2020.
Elon, you know, he said the other day, oh, I've never voted for a Republican. I said, I didn't know that. He told me he voted for me. So he's another bullshit artist.
A claim Musk publicly denied on Twitter, replying, "Not true." What followed was an unusually blunt exchange. Musk tweeted that while he didn't hate Trump, it was time for Trump to hang up his hat and sail into the sunset. He also floated the idea of an age limit for presidential candidates, clearly referencing both Trump and Biden. However, many observers noted that Musk's remark was likely aimed more directly at President Biden, who by then was facing growing public scrutiny over his cognitive sharpness, frequently caught on camera appearing confused, forgetting how to exit stages, walking in the wrong direction, or even stumbling during public events. Trump responded with fury on Truth Social, mocking Musk's companies and accusing him of coming to the White House begging for help. Musk responded with a simple LMAO. This public clash marked their first major falling out, a rare moment when both titans openly turned on each other in full view of the public. October to November 2022, Musk buys Twitter and reinstates Trump. Despite their feud, the next milestone shifted the dynamic once again. In October 2022, Musk finalized his $44 billion purchase of Twitter. Almost immediately, he began reshaping the platform's policies, culture, and leadership. Musk fired around 80% of Twitter's workforce, including top executives, signaling a radical overhaul of the company's direction. He also began releasing the Twitter files, internal communications that, according to Musk, revealed politically motivated censorship and behind-the-scenes coordination with government officials and media outlets. One of his first major moves was to reinstate Trump's account, following a public poll he conducted with Twitter users. Over 15 million people voted, and a slim majority said yes. Later, Musk rebranded the platform entirely, renaming it X as part of his broader vision to turn it into an all-in-one super app. Trump's account was reactivated in November 2022, though he initially declined to return, citing his exclusive agreement with Truth Social. Still, the symbolic move was significant. Musk had made good on his promise and restored Trump's digital voice. Whether Trump used it or not, Musk had given him back access to a powerful platform, something no other tech mogul dared do. From the outside, it seemed their relationship was slowly repairing. Musk had delivered Trump something valuable, and Trump's own comments on Musk grew more measured again. By early 2023, Elon Musk's public commentary continued shifting rightward. On Twitter, he engaged more frequently with conservative influencers, echoed anti-woke sentiments, and criticized the Biden administration on everything from energy policy to border control. Musk's endorsement of Republican talking points, from limiting government overreach to challenging DEI initiatives, made him increasingly popular in conservative circles. He even teased his support for a potential 2024 presidential candidate. While he initially leaned toward Florida Governor Ron DeSantis, Musk still left the door open to reconciling with Trump. Despite their spat in mid-2022, Musk no longer criticized Trump publicly, suggesting a growing strategic alignment as the 2024 race loomed. But it's important to understand the backdrop. From 2021 to 2024, Donald Trump was deeply entangled in a series of high-profile legal battles. These included a civil fraud case in New York that resulted in a $364 million judgment, his conviction on 34 felony counts in the Manhattan hush money case, and federal indictments related to classified documents and alleged efforts to overturn the 2020 election. He also faced a civil defamation case brought by the writer E. Jean Carroll, where courts found him liable and ordered millions in damages. At one point, Trump had so many simultaneous legal challenges that commentators referred to it as a legal gauntlet unlike anything ever faced by a former US president. Because of these mounting lawsuits, many political observers believed Trump's career was over. He was written off by much of the political class, with headlines frequently predicting the end of his influence. To win again, Trump would have to accomplish what only one man in US history ever had: Grover Cleveland, the only president to serve 2 non-consecutive terms. But unlike Trump, Grover Cleveland wasn't under indictment or facing criminal sentencing. Trump, by contrast, would need to defy not just political odds, but legal ones too. And yet, as the primaries approached, Trump's numbers remained surprisingly resilient. Against this unexpected momentum, Musk's softened stance towards Trump seemed less like a shifting tone and more like a calculated anticipation of a possible political resurrection. March 2024, Trump courts Musk for financial support. In March 2024, reports emerged that Donald Trump was struggling with campaign fundraising. According to insiders, Trump invited several high-profile donors, including Elon Musk, to a private gathering at Mar-a-Lago. Trump reportedly pitched Musk on the idea of financially supporting his 2024 campaign, emphasizing their shared interests: freedom of speech, deregulation, taking on the political establishment. At the time, Musk declined to commit any money. Publicly, he stated he wouldn't be donating to either candidate, referring to both Trump and President Biden. But the invitation itself signaled that Trump saw Musk as a potential kingmaker, someone whose influence, wealth, and platform could help tip the balance in the coming election. July 2024, the assassination attempt and Musk's endorsement. Everything changed in July 2024. During a rally in Butler, Pennsylvania, Donald Trump narrowly survived an assassination attempt that instantly became one of the most shocking moments in modern political history. As he was speaking on stage, a sniper round struck Trump in the ear, causing visible bleeding.
You see something that said, take a look at what happened.
Chaos erupted. Secret Service agents rushed to shield him, but Trump rose defiantly to his feet, turned to the crowd with blood running down the side of his face, and raised his fist in the air. Then, with unmistakable force, he shouted, "Fight! Fight! Fight!" The image of a wounded but unyielding Trump, fist raised in front of an American flag, spread like wildfire across every media outlet and social platform. Many political analysts argue that this single moment, the image of Trump standing tall, blood streaming from his ear, fist raised in defiance, was the turning point that won him the election. It wasn't just the attempt on his life that changed public sentiment, it was his reaction. It became an instant iconography of resistance, defiance, and political rebirth. The attempted assassination galvanized his supporters, united many Republicans, and even swayed some independents who viewed the attack not just as an assault on a man, but on the democratic process itself. Sympathy turned into momentum. Even Mark Zuckerberg, who had previously remained neutral in the election, remarked that Trump looked like a badass, though he stopped short of endorsing him.
Seeing Donald Trump get up after getting shot in the face and pump his fist in the air with the American flag is one of the most badass things I've ever seen in my life.
In the days that followed, Elon Musk issued a statement of full support. He called the attack an attack on democracy itself and announced his official endorsement of Donald Trump for president. It was a dramatic reversal. Musk, who once said Trump should sail into the sunset, now declared that Trump's victory was essential to preserve the Constitution and the Republic. Musk's endorsement was more than symbolic. He began actively advising on the campaign, using his influence to shape messaging, mobilize online support, and reach voters directly through his platform, X, formerly Twitter. August 2024, Musk funds the campaign and urges Vance as VP. In 2024, Musk began contributing significant sums to pro-Trump political action committees. Initial filings showed millions in donations, but insiders confirmed that Musk had pledged over $100 million in total support by the end of the month. His involvement gave Trump's campaign a financial shot in the arm, especially critical after months of lagging fundraising. Behind the scenes, Musk also lobbied for influence over Trump's vice presidential pick. He strongly advocated for Senator J.D. Vance of Ohio, a venture capitalist turned MAGA-aligned senator, arguing that Vance represented the new energy of a populist, anti-establishment GOP. Days before the Republican National Convention, Trump selected Vance as his running mate. Musk celebrated the announcement on X with a simple post: "Trump, Vance, let's go." His approval was widely seen as a green light to the tech and entrepreneurial class to get behind the ticket. With Trump and Vance now firmly aligned with Musk's political philosophy, the alliance between Mogul and the MAGA movement appeared stronger than ever. September 2024, the Twitter Spaces interview and the Dark MAGA rally. In September 2024, Trump and Musk hosted a much-anticipated live Twitter Spaces conversation. The event drew millions of listeners and featured a wide-ranging discussion covering immigration, censorship, AI, and Trump's recovery after the assassination attempt. Musk praised Trump's resilience and suggested that the next 4 years could be a startup-style reboot of American government. Just weeks later, Musk shocked the political world by appearing on stage with Trump at a rally in Butler, Pennsylvania, the very location of the July shooting. Wearing an all-black MAGA cap, black coat, and dark sunglasses, Musk addressed the roaring crowd with a warning: "This is the last free election if we don't win." The phrase, ominous, polarizing, and unforgettable, echoed across social media. Commentators dubbed the aesthetic Dark MAGA. Within hours, black-on-black dark MAGA hats, similar to the one Musk wore, were trending online and being sold by right-wing influencers. Musk didn't invent the phrase, but his dramatic appearance helped turn it into a viral symbol of the campaign's final stretch. With imagery as bold as the message, Musk's presence fueled momentum, controversy, and unity among the base. October to November 2024, Trump wins, Musk enters the White House. On November the 5th, 2024, Donald Trump won re-election, defeating Democratic nominee Kamala Harris. Musk, who had been a constant presence throughout the campaign, celebrated the victory online with a cryptic post: "The people have spoken, now we build." Within days, rumours emerged that Trump was planning to bring Musk into the administration in a formal capacity. The speculation proved true. Trump announced the creation of a new government initiative called the Department of Government Efficiency, DOGE, and named Elon Musk as its head. The role was designed to identify and eliminate wasteful spending, red tape, and bureaucratic bloat across federal agencies.
And to that end, I have created the brand new Department of Government Efficiency, DOGE. Perhaps you've heard of it. Perhaps. Which is headed by Elon Musk, who is in the gallery tonight.
It was a symbolic nod to Musk's entrepreneurial efficiency and also to his beloved Dogecoin meme. Trump hailed Musk as the perfect person to lead the charge, calling him a visionary who knows how to get things done. Musk embraced the role enthusiastically, promising to bring transparency, technology, and ruthless scrutiny to the federal budget. He launched a public portal where Americans could track wasteful programs and suggest cuts. Just days after the election, that message of dominance and unity was made even more visually powerful at UFC 295. John Jones versus Stipe Miocic held at Madison Square Garden in New York City in November 2024. There, Trump made a high-profile appearance front and center at the event, not alone, but flanked by an elite group of political and cultural powerhouses. Elon Musk sat directly beside him. UFC President Dana White stood nearby. Joining them in the front row were House Speaker Mike Johnson, Donald Trump Jr., and musician Kid Rock. Notably, presumed cabinet nominees like Robert F. Kennedy Jr. and Tulsi Gabbard were also in attendance, signaling a potentially unorthodox yet unified administration in waiting. Even Vivek Ramaswamy, a former GOP contender and Trump ally, was part of a visible entourage. The image of the president-elect surrounded by billionaires, disruptors, politicians and influencers all cheering cage side sent a clear message. A new era of Trump had begun, and it came with its own hand-picked inner circle. January to February 2025, Musk wields power as first buddy. During the transition period and into the early months of Trump's new term, Musk was everywhere. He attended nearly all high-level meetings at Mar-a-Lago, joined calls with foreign leaders, and even accompanied Trump to ceremonial events. The media dubbed him Trump's first buddy. Not quite a chief of staff, not a cabinet secretary, but unmistakably powerful. At the inauguration in January 2025, Musk was front and center. Later that evening, during one of the celebratory galas, Musk raised both arms triumphantly on stage, a gesture that ignited online debates, with some critics misinterpreting it as a fascist salute. Musk dismissed the controversy as absurd, joking in an interview, "I was just excited, I'm not a Nazi." His influence was felt immediately. The DOGE office published a list of early targets for elimination: unused military bases, outdated IT contracts, and obscure grant programs. Musk even proposed a leaderboard to publicly shame the most wasteful agencies and floated the idea of taxpayer refunds from the savings. Trump backed the proposals enthusiastically. Musk's blend of textile disruption and populist rhetoric made him an instant hero to the MAGA base. He sold black-on-black dark MAGA hats through unofficial merch shops, and his CPAC 2025 appearance, entering stage left in sunglasses and wielding a chainsaw as a visual metaphor for cutting bureaucracy, instantly went viral. At this point, Trump and Musk appeared inseparable, their partnership the centerpiece of a bold and confrontational new term. March to May 2025, the spending bill, the break, and the bombshell. By March 2025, Musk's aggressive drive to slash federal spending began clashing with Trump's broader political agenda. The White House introduced a sweeping legislative package nicknamed the One Big Beautiful Bill, which combined infrastructure investment, defense increases, and selective tax cuts. While Trump hailed it as a bold move to stimulate growth, Musk saw it differently. Musk publicly criticized the bill, calling it a disgraceful mountain of pork. He warned that it would undo the fiscal discipline his DOGE office was trying to instill.
Increases the budget deficit, not just decrease it, and undermines the work that the DOGE team is doing.
Behind closed doors, Musk urged Trump to veto the bill, but Trump, pressured by congressional Republicans eager to deliver tangible wins, moved forward. On May 28, 2025, Musk resigned from the DOGE office. In a farewell post on X, he thanked Trump for the opportunity, but stated, "I cannot endorse a bill that explodes the deficit and rewards inefficiency." His departure marked the end of a brief but highly visible chapter in federal governance. But the real rupture came days later. On June 3rd, Musk unleashed a series of scathing tweets, lambasting the bill and accusing GOP lawmakers of betraying their voters. Then, without warning, he posted a bombshell. Time to drop the really big one. Donald Trump is in the Epstein files. That's why they'd never been released. Have a nice day, DJT. The internet exploded. Musk offered no further evidence. Trump's team immediately denied the allegation, but the damage was done. In one post, Musk had detonated a nuclear-level accusation that drew global attention and fractured what remained of their alliance. June to July 2025, regret, reconciliation, and the uneasy truce. In the days following Musk's Epstein tweet, chaos unfolded. Tesla's stock plummeted over 14%, erasing billions off its market value. Trump's base lashed out at Musk, calling him a traitor. Conservative influencers, once his staunchest supporters, turned against him overnight. For the first time in years, Musk faced a perfect storm of political and financial backlash. On June the 10th, Musk appeared to backtrack. In a tweet that stunned followers, he wrote, "I regret some of my posts from last week. They went too far. I let emotion get the better of me." It was a rare admission of fault, and it signaled a desire to de-escalate the feud. Within hours, he deleted the Epstein post. Trump surprisingly accepted the olive branch. In an interview with the New York Post, he said, "We've had our differences, but I don't blame Elon. He's a passionate guy, and I think he just got carried away." While not exactly warm, Trump's response left the door open for détente. Behind the scenes, Trump's advisors, including VP J.D. Vance and Chief of Staff Susie Wiles, reportedly urged both men to tone things down. They feared a prolonged feud would divide the movement and distract from Trump's legislative agenda. By mid-July, Musk had pulled back from political combat. He announced he would not pursue a third-party challenge despite earlier threats to do so. He also cut back his public criticism of the administration, returning focus to his companies. The relationship between Trump and Musk never returned to its peak, but a fragile truce held. They no longer appeared together, but they no longer attacked each other either. The bromance that had once defined a political era had cooled into mutual caution. Their alliance had shaped the course of history, but in the end, it proved too combustible to last. The Trump-Musk relationship now stands as one of the most remarkable political alliances of the modern era. A collision of two titanic egos, each with their own vision for reshaping America. It began with skepticism, evolved into a powerful partnership, and ended in an uneasy silence marked by ambition, betrayal, and extraordinary influence. But with Trump still holding years left in office and Musk never one to stay quiet for too long, their relationship saga is far from over. Whether they reconcile, clash again, or rewrite the script altogether, one thing's certain: we haven't seen the last chapter.